All right, match number 3. So far, so good. If he's not a creature deck, this is a really terrible hand. Don't have a Haunted Dead. Though if I draw one, it's good. If I draw an Amalgam, it's not that good. I think I want to keep. I don't have great reasoning, but Fiery Temper Lightning Axe is good. I can maybe set up like a turn 4 Hollow One. Really wish I had a Cycle Land in this hand, but I have really good mana, which is pretty nice. And I can just Cycle Hollow One on turn 2 if he's Blooming Marsh. Okay, this hand's reasonable against a Blooming Marsh start. There's Haunted Dead. Which is one of our better draws. If he plays Constrictor, I think we just wait till our turn. Hopefully we can draw an Amalgam or another Hollow One would be ideal. We drew a Scrounger. It's not terrible. I think maybe I could wait one more turn, actually. That way I can Haunted Dead. Next turn I can Axe, discarding the Dead. And then I can play a land and Fiery Temper. Okay, yeah, so we just play the Scrounger this turn. It gives us one more turn. I want to get the Hollow One and play a little bit sooner, but this gives us one more turn to draw an Amalgam or another Hollow One, which both just come into play for free. Also, if he just plays another creature, I get to kill both, which is really, really nice upside. And I'm just way ahead on board. Hoping he plays another creature. Another Constrictor, okay. Ooh, I don't like the Ether Hub. Because now that means he's got Blossoming Defense up. We draw Kenra. If he's got Blossoming Defense, it's pretty unfortunate, but there's not really that much I can do about it. He didn't even think about it, so I'm assuming that means he doesn't have it. And we drew a Kenra, which is not actually a bad, like, it's one of the good things we can draw. We're just guaranteed to discard it anyway. So it's actually, it's not an Amalgam, but it is like the second, or a Scrounger, I guess. It's like the next best thing. Because now I have a Kenra in my graveyard. Which I suppose if I draw running lands could be useful. We're pretty far ahead here, though he's got 5 cards to our none, which is kind of how it goes when you're playing the Hollow One deck. Didn't have a Blossoming Defense. Didn't have a Rishkar. Wonder what's in his hand. Hoping it's a bunch of Fatal Pushes. It's a Grasp. That's not so bad. There's a Reunion, which is a bad draw, but opponent's at 11, and we still have the Kenra in our graveyard, which is nice. Tracker plus land. Yep, that's bad news. Usually the energy version of this deck don't play Tracker, so this guy's kind of got some amount of tech here. But we're putting him way behind. Just going to play the Crypt Breaker. Not great against a Ballista, but if I draw another zombie, like a Haunted Dead or a Crypt Breaker, I can actually just start drawing extras, which is going to lead to a pretty easy win, I think. And if I don't, I can just start making zombies, which, even though he's drawing 2 a turn with the Tracker, like, he's at 7. If I'm making a zombie every turn and drawing extra cards, It's in pretty good. I'm in pretty good shape. Though I really don't want to see a Ballista. Ballista is like really annoying. Though it's not the end of the world, I guess, because he can't like crack clues and also Ballista at the same time. Looks like a Ballista for 3. Yup. My Scrounger still gets an attack this turn, which is kind of nice. So now we kind of just want to draw like Fiery Tempers. It's a swamp. I think I don't play it. It's going to be a close game. See if I can draw 2 Fiery Tempers. He might actually go down to 4 life here. Because I don't think he wants to just chump with the Ballista. He could, though. The tracker's going to be too big for me to want to Earthshaker. So I think we just pass. Hopefully we can Cathartic Reunion into something nice. It's possible this guy isn't playing energy, actually. Didn't see any Blossoming Defense. He might just be playing Ether Hub in the normal black-green deck. Oh no, he's playing energy. Alright. So we just kind of want to draw Fiery Tempers. Fiery Temper this turn would be an outstanding draw. I guess Hollow Ones are okay as well. Is it Amalgam? Which is reasonable. Okay, there is our Fiery Temper. I could Lightning Axe the tracker. And then attack with Scrounger. That forces him to... Gets this tracker off the board, but then I lose my Fiery Temper, which I don't think is worth it. So I think we just have to pass. Do I play land? I guess so. So it's just going to be a race to try to draw another Fiery Temper. And we've got some amount of time because he's low enough that he's going to have to like leave extra stuff back. But at the same time, I can't realistically put up much of a defense once he draws like Gear Hulk or something. And he's drawing actually like he's got 4 cards plus the tracker going. Probably going to be threatening. Probably gonna... Well, not probably, but we may die next turn. It's not necessarily out of... Oh, so he's got a Traverse. He just got Delirium. Oh, he's playing it this way? That's fine. Now, I can return my Amalgam now. And he's got to leave stuff back. Because now he might die to my Lightning Axe on his guy. Which is interesting. I guess it's pretty likely he's got a Fatal Push at least in his hand. Yeah, no land. And he could have played the Ballista for more. So I actually read him for like maybe a Grasp here. So I guess I just attack. It's a push. So maybe he's got a push and a grasp. That's actually really aggressive from him. Wow, this actually changes this game a little bit because now I can just get the Amalgam back. with the Scrounger without having to use the Haunted Dead. Axe this, temper your face. You're at 1. Try not to die from the Cub next turn, plus the Ballista. Okay, so the Cub is 4. The Ballista is 5. Maybe I'm supposed to temper the Ballista? Feels like he's going to have a grasp. Doesn't really matter that much. If I Cathartic Reunion, I win if I draw like land plus temper. Though I'm pitching the Lightning Axe, which seems kind of loose. Let's see. The Cub plus the Ballista doesn't kill me. A Gearhulk obviously kills me. It's possible he has a Blossoming Defense. He's got to have something because he didn't pump the Ballista. Are we definitely killing him next turn? Scrounger plus Amalgam. I like returning the Haunted Dead because it gives me a blocker potentially for the Cub. If I kill the Tracker and the Ballista, I can't do that and return the Haunted Dead. Oh, this is like impossible. Playing this deck is so difficult. So, Axe Tracker, temper the Ballista, return Scrounger. I get the Amalgam back. I have this Cathartic Reunion that's just dead in my hand. If I draw a land, though, I can get the Kenra back. So maybe that's okay. Though I'm not necessarily dead if I just Axe the Tracker and temper face. Tempering face just seems risky. Like, I seem like I almost have the resources I need to win. But I think one of his cards is a Grasp, which makes it more tough. But I'm so low, I think, yeah. Okay. Let's just do this. I guess I could discard the Reunion, actually. Don't have to temper anything right now. Then if he goes for, like, the pump on this, for the win, I can temper it. But then I can't also do anything else. So, yeah, alright, let's try it this way. I don't know what I'm doing. This seems bad because it's, like, too conservative, and he's got so many better draws than I do. And now, like, if I draw Fiery Temper, I don't actually win. But all my other plays are kind of weak. And getting the Ballista off the board allows me to just use my Haunted Dead as a blocker next turn. Like, I get back Amalgam and Haunted Dead, and then next turn, or Prize Amalgam and Scrounger. Then next turn, I can return the Haunted Dead with whatever I draw. I have the 1/1 as a blocker. Not to mention, the Scrounger and the Amalgam are very threatening. He's got to deal with those, and those are hard to deal with threats. And, like, he played as if he's got a removal spell. If he had another creature, another more significant creature, I think he would play it. We did put ourselves dead to a Gearhulk. But, like, I think the Gearhulk was beating me anyway because my other line involves Fiery Tempering his face. Okay. Oh, another Ballista. Yeah. He kind of has to block both, though. Hopefully we can draw another Fiery Temper. But we might just be dead now. Unless we draw removal. Haunted Dead. That's actually a pretty good draw. Because I can just hard cast it and have 2 blockers. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. So maybe I was supposed to go for the win. What a bizarre game. It's not really much I can do, right? My only options are playing... The only thing I can do is play Haunted Dead. Try to block. He can kill. 2 blockers. 4. Yeah. Pretty gross. I don't know if there's a way out of this game. I guess the way out is to Fire Temper his face, but I just died to so many things. I'm pretty sure he's got a grasp too. I think I might just be down on board, but I've got no play. I suppose what I could do is attack with both and then hope that he's afraid of a Fiery Temper. Yeah, I'm just dead on board. Oh. Yeah. Let's see what we would have drawn. So we would have drawn not another Fiery Temper. So going face would not have worked. It's pretty gross. So we want 2 disintegrations and the cut. We want to cut Kenra because it's bad against Ballista. And I think we want to cut a Scrounger. Or maybe we can cut a Neonate. It's not great against Ballista, and I'm starting in the Disintegration, so I kind of want to keep the Scrounger. Cut 1 Neonate. I think that's fine. I don't love Crypt Breaker either. Oh, he's green-black, so we want the Scorpion God. Though I don't know if you want this against Energy. You definitely want it against the control versions. I think he just hits a little bit too hard for this to matter. So we'll try it like this. Pretty good start to that game. The tracker, though. It's just very, very difficult sometimes to beat Tyler's tracker, which is why it's such a good card. Like, it just immediately... It's almost like a Planeswalker. Like, you untap with it, and you're really, really far ahead. It's pretty good value for me. Very surprising to see that play. We draw the Haunted Dead now, which is pretty funny, but it is what it is. Scrounger? I think I'm going to play Scrounger. Just get the pressure on him. I'm not really in a rush to get this out. And Scrounger puts a ton of pressure on the green-black deck. Like, he won't be able to... Unless he's got Anissa, this is going to go uncontested for a while. He's got a Ballista. That doesn't really matter. And I could Lightning Axe that. Really need a third land. Though I want to save the Lightning Axe. So I think what we do is we play the Neonate. And we could sack it now. Because if we hit a land, we get to live all the dreams. But we're not that likely to hit a land. And we can hollow one next turn if he doesn't just use the Ballista. And I don't actually mind him losing the Ballista, so we're not that likely to draw a land. Like, we have 21 in our deck and 50 cards. So we're a little bit over 40% to draw a land, which I don't think is high enough percentage for me to want to do anything. Okay. And we just get to guarantee our hollow one next turn if we wait. And now, like, we even get to attack the Planeswalker, which is nice. And it was a tap land, so it would not have worked out. Okay. Getting the second red source is really nice, though. I'm going to double block this. So he's actually going to let Nissa go to 1. It's kind of surprising. Could trade for the Walking Ballista, but I just have to go for the... Okay, still in the same spot. Ooh, our hand has been rearranged. Discard the Haunted Dead. Make everything a little bigger. Drew another Haunted Dead. Okay, so I guess I pitched the Haunted Dead and the land, maybe, actually? Lightning Axe might be better because it can kill something bigger. Though next turn I can, like, return the other Haunted Dead, Fiery Temper something, if I have the land. So yeah, let's pitch Lightning Axe. Play that tapped, play a hollow one, and he does have the Nissa, which is a little bit annoying, but I think we're about to win the board in a big way because I can just return my other Haunted Dead. The Ballista's a little bit annoying. Ooh, and we drew a Scrounger. It's always great when you're, like, guaranteed to discard your hand and you just kind of draw something that's good in the graveyard. So I think we just punch, like, pretty much most of the stuff at him. Maybe send, like, the Haunted Dead at Nissa to, like, force a block. This at Nissa. These at him. Planeswalkers have confused me. My first opponent had Gideon. This guy's got Nissa. I gotta play fast, though. I'm actually kind of running low on time. So let's just go at him, at Nissa, at Nissa. I guess this can go at Nissa, too. I want to send enough at him that if he just decides for Nissa to die... That at Nissa, that at Nissa, that at Nissa. Okay. I need to send enough at him that he can't just decide to let Nissa die. Like, this way I'm still punching him for 10. And I can always Fiery Temper the Nissa if I need to. So, I think I like this. Like, the Spirit at Nissa is nice because the 1 damage isn't nearly as relevant as potentially keeping him off of minusing this next turn. So this is like a threat that he probably wants to try to, like, Fatal Push or use Walking Ballista to kill. Like, the Haunted Dead is similar, you know? It's, like, only 2 damage to the face, but at the Nissa, he might even consider, like, using a plant to save it. It kind of gives away my hand. Like, this attack shows strength because I'm not attacking everything at Nissa. I think one of them is... I think that very often it's right to, like, attack almost all your creatures at Nissa. But or at Planeswalkers in general. But if it's like it's kind of decimating him to block. And actually, really nice attack because he ended up not even blocking at all and also taking 7. So you can kind of tell that it's a good attack because if that's his best play, I could Fiery Temper that. I think I'm actually just going to let it resolve because I'm a tiny bit scared of Yahini's Expertise. Like, if he has it, he gets to kill the Hollow One and wipe my board, and I don't have enough mana to recover from it. So I have to respect it a little bit, and he's got another Nissa, which makes him losing his Nissa make sense. But I don't think this is going to work out that well for him. because I do get to Fiery Temper something. I think I'm supposed to just Fiery Temper the Walking Ballista, because it's a really good blocker. I guess it's not that good of a blocker, but it's a pretty good blocker on 3, and he only gets to kill like a Haunted Dead if I kill it now. So let's go ahead and do that. Like, looks like he might have a Grasp here too. So killing the Ballista just lets me have good attacks next turn. And he just scoops. Yeah. And I have 2 Scroungers going. There's not really that much he can do to catch up there. I think everything went pretty solid. He had Fatal Push my Neonate, which is just kind of unreal. He actually probably shouldn't have Fatal Push in his deck, but it's possible that he just needs cheap interaction. Everything seems good to go. It's possible I want Gifted Etherborn. How the games have played out, like, having a way to, like, deal with Longtusk Cub is important. And Disintegration might not actually be that good against him on the draw. Like, Gifted Etherborn is very... It's not like the same. I'm going to say it's kind of similar because they're kind of dealing with his better threats. But the Gifted Etherborn is much cheaper. And I'm going to be a lot less aggressive on the draw. I don't like Crypt Breaker as much on the draw either. Like, none of my 1-drops I really like. I like Scrounger. Like, Scrounger seemed really good that game, but on the draw it's going to be a little bit worse. But I don't want to cut too many ways of returning Amalgam, and too many of my value cards to discard. So it kind of leaves me in a rough spot. I think maybe the Etherborns are just a trap. So I'm just going to leave it as is. Hopefully we can just get a fast draw. It's a risky hand, but he's on 6. I have a turn 2 Scrounger, and if I don't draw a discard outlet, which I have, like what? I have like 10. I sided out 1 Neonate, so I have 11 1-drops, including the Lightning Axes. And I have the Reunions. And if I just draw land number 4, I can just play Haunted Dead. Which is obviously really strong. Hopefully he doesn't have, like, Transgress. Would be a nightmare. But if he doesn't have Transgress, I think he's in trouble. But anyway, like... I have so many discard outlets, and I can just hardcast this. So... no Constrictor or Cub, so it's not the most aggressive start from him, but he still is kind of dealing me a lot of damage here. I do have the Neonate to kind of stem the beats a little bit and turn the beats around. Normally, you want to do this main phase in case you draw a hollow one. But I think saving... the likelihood of me drawing a hollow one is kind of low compared to just the guaranteed 3 or more life that I get. So this is going pretty well, all things considered. We even have an answer to, like, Kalidas, if he has it. And Yahini's Expertise isn't even good against this draw. Actually, is I'm not going to say it's bad, but it just does little to nothing if he does have it. So now I need to be a tiny bit conservative. I think maybe I'm supposed to leave the Spirit back. I could also leave Haunted Dead back. It's a pretty good blocker. And I have tons of pressure because I get to Lightning Axe something and then also return Scrounger end of turn. So I need to like play around Yahini's Expertise. Kind of play around Kalidas, but Kalidas isn't even that good if he doesn't have... He could have Fatal Push as well. But I'm not even really in risk of dying. If he sacks this, that's 4. The worst he can do is play a Gearhulk, and I have Lightning Axe. Or if he like Fatal Pushes or Grasps the Spirit, then Gearhulk isn't even lethal. It's 1 off either way. So I think I actually am going to attack with the Haunted Dead. Because he's just super dead next turn. And what I can do is I can actually kill the tracker now. Because I'm not really in risk of dying. And if he's got Yahini's Expertise, I still just return Scrounger. And everything comes back. But if he's got a Kalidas, the Kalidas is the only card that can block. So I can just attack with everything. He's got a Kalidas plus a Fatal Push. He also needs a Swamp. He only has 3 cards. So yeah, I guess I just... he just isn't even going to let me. Alright, well that's the power of this deck. Green-black, I mean, I don't like him siding in Scroungers, but if you get out ahead of green-black, there's not much they can do. Like, they can only really try to Kalidas you, which the energy version doesn't have. So maybe going aggressive is fine, but he just didn't have a Long Tusk Cub or a Constrictor, so it wasn't that effective.